This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening. The next state election is shaping up to be a close contest. Premier Will Hodgman declaring there is a real chance of another hung parliament. New polling reveals Labor leader Rebecca White is now Tasmania's preferred premier. It comes as the state government pushes ahead with its Taswater takeover.
Stepping up their Taswater battle, the Premier and Treasurer today releasing draft legislation to take over the state's ailing water and sewerage infrastructure.
We are taking very decisive action and we make no apology for it.
If passed, the legislation would make the state government owners of Taswater as of next July. It's currently owned by the state's 29 councils and many don't support any change. The Treasurer says under the legislation, a new government business enterprise would be set up and be responsible for providing services.
Employers will be transferred on the same terms and conditions and no one will lose their job as a result of the transfer.
The legislation is expected to be tabled in Parliament in August and there's no certainty it will pass.
We've yet to see what legislation the government's going to produce. What we do know is that if you're taking legislation to the Parliament that none of your stakeholders support, then perhaps you're not listening.
But it's on another issue where the Hodgman government has found itself in hot water. New Reachtel polling reveals Labor leader Rebecca White is now the state's preferred premier, 4 months after taking the party's top job.
It indicates that it's going to be, a line ball contest in terms of whether the Liberals can hold on to majority government. And interestingly, I think, is it appears that Lyons is going to be the critical seat.
We will not be distracted by popularity polls and popularity contests. If there's anything to be taken of substance from these polls, it is the very real possibility of another hung parliament.
Both major parties sticking to their guns, declaring they will not form a minority government.
We're also the one party that has said no deals and stuck to our word.
Labor has said that we won't do a deal, we won't govern in minority.
But come the election, which is expected to be early next year, anything is possible.
Clearly we can see some battleground issues around local government reform, about Taswater, about salmon farming. So let's hope that it doesn't degenerate into a scare campaign about minority government.
Monica Dadson at Southern Cross News.
Concerns surrounding the rollout of the NBN across Tasmania are continuing, with Labor accusing the Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull of not sticking to his promise, causing regional communities in the state to miss out.
Promised Tasmania that where the rollout was underway, that the fibre to the premises rollout would continue. He's backflipped on that, and as a result, 96,000 premises across Tasmania are getting inferior broadband technology.
The people in regional communities don't have the same opportunities in terms of health education, a whole range of applications around broadband as the capital city people do.
Full-day hearings are scheduled for Hobart, Launceston and Burnie this week. Tasmania's tourism industry employs tens of thousands of people and that number is expected to be further boosted. The Tourism Industry Council today launching a campaign to shine a light on the unsung heroes who welcome visitors to the state.
It's no secret Tasmania's experiencing a tourism boom, but what's often not considered, those working behind the scenes.
Without all of those, I guess, the little people, we wouldn't have what we have and what we can showcase, and they're the people that are really actually doing the groundwork to help produce what Tasmania can.
It's creating economic opportunities and jobs and getting people to live on the island and growing house prices and making the place a more sustainable place to live.
The industry employs 35,000 Tasmanians across a broad range of sectors. Today's launch of the 6-week television and digital advertising campaign, Tourism, It's a Team Effort, hoping to promote one message.
Highlight some of the unsung heroes of the tourism sector, not necessarily the profile people, but the people that really have the cogs turning and make sure that we deliver the world-class experience that everyone's come to expect.
The advertisement, said to be entirely industry funded, aims to increase local interest on studying or working in the industry.
It shows that you can be involved in building construction, you can be in train operations, you can be in the traditional hospitality sector, you can even be a farmer and you can be involved in the tourism industry.
Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
If you like cats, then this show would have been the one for you. More than 200 felines from across the country sitting pretty at Intalli Lodge over the weekend for the annual National Cat Show. It's the first time the event's been held in Tasmania since 2012. Each breed was judged differently before a best cat on show was selected.
The Burman, which is my breed, are judged on their beautiful blue eye colour. They have to have perfect little white gloves and little white gauntlets at the back, which is like a little triangle. They have to have nice placement between the ears and a nice little Roman nose.
An estimated 3,000 cat lovers visited the show over its 2 days.
The North West Coast has a new world champion, with distance runner Dion Kenzie blitzing the field in the T38 1500 metre event at the Para Athletics World Championships in London. Kenzie never looked in doubt, storming home just short of his world record. The smile of a new world champion, the North West Coast runner couldn't hide his joy after another blistering effort.
That man could. He kicked the whole way around, Dion Kenzie. After about the first lap, he took over the lead.
Racing for another bit of silverware to add to an already world-class collection. Kenzie came out strong, taking the lead after lap 1, and from there he didn't let it go.
As Dion Kenzie, with 200 metres to go, could this be another goal for the Australians? He's way in front.
Kenzie falling just short of beating his own world record time, but setting a new championship record, crossing over in just under 4 minutes and 7 seconds.
30, 20, 10, Dion Kenzie across the line, and a new championship record.
Meantime, Tasmanian Formula One hopeful Alex Peroni has avoided disaster after spinning out during the opening race of the Formula Renault Euro Cup in Austria. Sitting 8th at the time, Peroni dropped back to 21st before clawing back to finish 14th. He'll get a chance at redemption in race 2 tonight. A couple of gate clips have proven costly for Hobart's Daniel Watkins at the World Under-23 Slalom Championships in Slovakia, with the Hobart canoeist finishing almost a minute behind the leader in 9th place. And Launceston's Henry Ewell helped his team to an early lead in the men's Cox 4 final at the World Under-23 Championships in Bulgaria, but the Australians couldn't hold on, dropping back in the home stretch to finish 5th.
Good evening. We had rain statewide today with some early morning thunderstorms about the north and west of the state. It was 12 degrees in Hobart, 14 in Launceston and Devonport, and 13 in Burnie. Taking a look around the state, 15 was the high at St Helens and Friendly Beaches. It was 13 degrees at Lowhead, Wynyard, Maria Island, Bushy Park and Strawn, 12 at Grove and 5 at Lyowini. The satellite images show a low to middle level cloud band crossing Tasmania and southern Victoria, while another crosses the southwest coast of Western Australia. Aside from some low level cloud on the east coast, the rest of the mainland was mostly cloud free today. On the close-up, low-level clouds streaming in mountain waves across the state after a middle-level cloud band crossed this morning. Now let's take a look at tomorrow's chart. There's a cold front to the far southwest of Tasmania, with a low moving into the Bight extending to the southeastern coast of Western Australia. And there's some high pressure over New South Wales, extending a ridge over much of the mainland. West to southwesterly winds reaching 30 knots about the north and 35 about the south, seas mostly 2 to 3 metres. There's a statewide road weather alert for icy roads tomorrow morning, a gale warning for westerly winds between Tasman Island and Low Rocky Point, a strong wind warning for remaining coastal waters except the upper east coast, and a small craft wind alert for the southwest lakes. A partly cloudy day for Hobart tomorrow, a top of 11, 11 for Dover with a shower or 2, ooze 9. Launceston, morning frost before a partly cloudy day, 12 degrees, Devonport 12, partly cloudy, Scottsdale 11. Possible showers for Burnie and Stanley, both looking at a top of 12, 11 degrees for Strawn. Some early frost in the east and then sun for St Helens and Swansea, both 13, Ross 11. Now let's take a look ahead to Tuesday. Morning showers extending statewide except for the east coast, which should remain mostly dry. Wednesday, more showers mostly clearing in the north and east through the afternoon. And a fine day on Thursday, apart from a bit of morning frost and some possible showers in the west. Now, if you're looking for some sun tomorrow, Sydney and Brisbane are the places to be. Perth and Adelaide are expecting showers, and Melbourne should have a mostly dry day with a top of 15. And now here's a look at the current conditions. That's all for tonight's weather. Back to you, Rach.